and sports still ahead. We'll find out what's got more and more people across Africa interested in rugby. Tatiana is here with the sports now, and it's all about the growth of rugby in Africa, Tatiana.
Absolutely, it is very exciting times. Rugby's experienced a huge boost in popularity across Africa. While only 6 African countries regularly played the sport back in 2002, today there are 38. That's around a third of the 105 countries competing in rugby worldwide. Up to 3 African nations could be at next year's World Cup in Japan. South Africa have already booked their place, and Kenya, Morocco, Namibia, Tunisia, Uganda and Zimbabwe will compete to join them at the Africa Gold Cup. But it's not just growing at the elite level. Last year, rugby was taught in more than 22,000 schools throughout the continent. The number of women and girls playing the sport has also shot up. They now make up 20% of those taking part. Well, to talk more about this, I'm delighted to be joined live by the president of Rugby Africa, A.Bougja, who's in Brussels for the International Sports Press Association Congress. Thank you very much for joining us on the show. What's the main reason behind rugby's increase in popularity across Africa over the last few years?
Good evening. Our secret is to work hard, very hard, since 2002, and trying to make us rugby be a part of the life of the Africans, and give the opportunity to the youngs to play another sport than soccer or basketball or volleyball. And also the work that we have managed with World Rugby. And we've been helped very well by World Rugby during that time, and we've tried to coach different type of category, youth, age grade, women's, and try to help also the unions to build right governance, and also to put in place a different type of competition. Under 20, women's, sevens, and rugby 15 with the different type of categories, because the level is different. And that's the secret of the work that we have done since now 15 years.
You briefly touched on it there, but how actually accessible is the sport now for people from all backgrounds, like women as well as men?
Sorry, your voice has been cut, so I didn't hear very well the question.
I was just saying, how accessible is the sport now from people from all backgrounds? You touched on it there, for women as well as men.
So now, as I just said, you have 38 unions around Africa, and there is a unions, organized union through the continent, and through the continent, the people, they can come and see the clubs, and through the clubs there is activity at the level of the schools, college and universities. So the next step for us also is to make it, to build a championship of the universities of the continent. So it is not so hard to find people and to get access to the rugby today in Africa. We still have to work very hard, because we still need to improve our work almost in the country where the rugby do not exist, like Angola, like Sudan, like other country, Cape Verde, and other country. So. But most of the time, there is easy access to the rugby if the people want to play rugby.
And we can see the Africa Gold Cup trophy behind you there for qualifying tournament for next year's World Cup. 6 teams are bidding to join South Africa in Japan. How important is that competition for rugby on the continent?
Yes, the competition will start in June, 16th of June. with 3 games, and then during 2 months we will have 15 games, and the winner of the competition between that 6 teams go directly to the World Cup 2019 in Japan, and the second will go to international repêchage, and we hope that this time Africa will have a union coming from the repêchage and go also to the World Cup. So then we will have 3 unions. We will have South Africa and a team who wins the Gold Cup and then the repêchage. It's our hope, and we are doing everything for that.
I'm going to have to interrupt you there. Thank you, the President of Rugby Africa, A.Bougja, Thank you so much for your time. Moving on, LeBron James.